This is crazy, man. What's going on? My name is Sean. Some of you guys might know me as Shawnee Strikes on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you're watching this right now, hopefully you do know who I am and what I do. But yeah, it's been a crazy year, and I've never really just sat down in front of a camera, talked about like me as a person. I feel like I should do that, you know? So forgive me if I'm a little like weird on camera. I'm still getting used to all this. This is my story, I guess. So I'll start a little bit before I started posting content. I am a junior in college, or I'm about to be a senior, just finished junior year. Studying manufacturing engineering. I go to college, not gonna leak where, but yeah, I'm 20 years old, about to be 21 in September. And man, before MMA, I played basketball. I don't know, I just kind of hung out, did whatever, you know me. But yeah, anyways, what matters is since I've started posting MMA. So the reason I started posting MMA content, I started training at 19. I was a sophomore in college, and I played basketball a lot, and I really liked basketball. But then I tried to try out for a team in college, and I got cut. Thought I was gonna make it, but once I got cut, it was like, well, what am I doing basketball for? You know, there's no point. I was still playing for fun, but there was just nothing more that the game had to offer. And I really like sports, you know, my whole life I've been active. I like to exercise and all that. Yeah, I just looked for something new, so I tried MMA. My friend is into jiu-jitsu, so he got me into it. Started in jiu-jitsu, but then I kept training and I saw Muay Thai and I was like, that looks a little more fun, honestly. So I started doing Muay Thai, which then led me to MMA. As soon as summer came around, I got a gym membership at a real gym, real MMA gym. And I was living alone. I had an internship and I was just living and working the internship, and I really needed something to do. So I joined a gym. I started training like 2 sessions a day. You know, I'm not crazy athletic, but I was decently athletic from basketball. Like I could move well. And one thing about MMA you should know is that honestly, MMA guys are not athletes. Let's be real. It's just kind of a reject sport. I think it has the potential to turn into like the main sport because it's so fun. Yeah, that's the whole reason I started actually making MMA content, is because I had so much fun with it, so passionate about it. And I was watching content on it because obviously if you like something, you want to watch content on it. And there really wasn't much of it. Like there was no creators doing the type of stuff that I wanted to see. And I was thinking, I was like, man, there's really a big gap for this. And I think I could fill it. You know, I think like, why not me? Because I'll tell you another thing. When I worked that internship for engineering, it was the worst thing I've ever done. Not because the job was bad, not because I hated working. It was because it wasn't something I was passionate about. I felt like I would clock into work every day. I would just exist there. There was no soul in that building. There was no passion. And so I knew that I needed to do something else, and content just became that thing, man. I get to make content about something I'm super passionate about, which is crazy. And it's done pretty well for me, man. It's been a year. Obviously, you got to shout out Full Violence. Big, that was honestly the start of everything that started happening to me that was crazy. Before that, I just had a number on my screen with nothing really else to it. But shout out to the boys at Full Violence repping the merch right now. Yeah, go check them out. But yeah, anyways, before Full Violence, I had built myself up to around like 40,000 followers. And when I started posting MMA content, I've always had this vision, and I've always known that I could take it to this level, because I wouldn't have started if I didn't know I could do it. You know what I mean? I got to about 40,000 followers, and that's when school was wrapping up, and I knew I needed to do something for the summer. And I'd seen similar situations where people were working with Full Violence as influencers. So one thing led to another, and now I've been working with them. I'm part of FVG. I've been able to go on these crazy trips with them. We went to Brazil, Miami, LA, and I've met fighters. I've done so much crazy stuff, and it's kind of insane that, like, if you told me less than a year ago this is what I'd be doing, I don't even know what I would think. I'd think I'm crazy. But yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about when I first started posting, because like that's the hardest part, man. That's easily the hardest part. But honestly, for me, it wasn't. A lot of people struggle with becoming a social media person because they're worried about what other people are going to think. And the reason that wasn't a problem for me was because I had worked that internship, and I had felt that like feeling of soullessness and not pursuing something that I want to do. I knew that feeling would outweigh any feeling I had thinking about other people's opinions. Like I knew that I could not be like that for the rest of my life. And so it really wasn't about thinking about what what other people thought. It was more so I need to do this for me. And yeah, so it's been luckily it wasn't that hard for me to start. It puts a lot of pressure on you. It's literally like pocket watching in real time. You can compare yourself to a person posting on social media without having to do anything, because if someone's getting little views, then you look at that and you think that you're doing better because of it. People want to keep you the same as them. My very first hater was someone who was like, I would have considered a friend. I have firsthand experience dealing with a hater, and it taught me that people really want to keep you exactly where they are. What people see becoming an influencer as, even though it's really just stupid, it's like it's nothing. You're trying to break away from the rat race, whatever. I don't like that term, but it's the truth. So you're trying to divert from like the 9 to 5 and go into your own path, pretty much self-business. And this is my best piece of advice, man. It takes one W to erase all of the L's. All the L's, it takes one W. And what I mean by that is all those months when I was posting and nothing was really coming to fruition, and people were talking behind my back and people were saying, yo, like, what do you think you're doing with this? All of those L's, one W erases all of them. And that was, for me, I think, working with Full Violence and getting to the point where I can actually turn this following, turn this number that I've been chasing into something real. And in that realness is me making content on MMA and bringing you guys the content that I think is missing from the MMA space. So yeah, I'm low-key yapping. I'm on a crazy tangent right now, but let me keep going. If you have any if anything I've said in this video makes you feel some type of way, I'm telling you, bro, drop everything. If you have a vision, go pursue that to no avail, because if you don't, somebody else will make it happen. If it's not you, then it's going to be somebody. And that's something I've learned. I remember I posted for 3 months, gaining like 10 followers a day. And those were the hardest 3 months. But looking back, they were the most essential 3 months, and they were the most locked in 3 months, because that's when I first started. And that's when I put the chip on my shoulder, because I'm not a quitter. I'm never going to just quit something. And that's what other people are waiting on. Whether they tell you or not, they're waiting on you to quit. They're waiting to see how far you'll take it. And I'll tell you a secret about social media. Like, as long as you don't quit, nothing wrong will happen. If you don't quit, what's the worst that happens? Your posts keep flopping, but one time, one of them is going to hit. And like I said before, one W erases every single L. The first 3 months, I was posting skits. I was posting stuff that I wasn't proud of because it wasn't me. I was putting on a face to make like funny videos. That's why I hated it so much, but it's all I knew. I was getting numbers, I was going viral, and I was thinking, man, this is really like, this is how you do it. Then I realized 3 months, 3,000 followers, that's not maintainable. That's not going to take me to where I want to go. So I sat really hard and I started this series. It was called Fighting the Best Fighter Every Gym, and it popped off, man. That is the series that seriously changed my life. I remember I posted the first video and I woke up to like 7,000 followers after grinding for so long, and finally seeing something good happen to me. It relieved so much pressure, especially being on a college campus. Like, word spreads, people know people, everybody really kind of knows each other. And if you don't know this about social media, you do now. When you post something, it's gonna get broadcasted to like everybody you know, because those are the people that are gonna interact with your post, obviously. So yes, the first videos you make are going to go to everybody you know, and that's the worst part, man. That's the worst, because it is like, it takes a lot to start posting, man. It takes a lot. So that's why I respect anybody that does. I respect anybody with the courage to not care about what other people think and to just go post on their own shit and record their life and put themselves out to the world. It's been a wild few months, and this is what I really wanted to talk about. Why did I sign up for Street Beefs? It is a crazy thing to do when I have a following, when I have a lot to lose. I'm literally going to be going back to college after fighting on Street Beef. What if I got knocked out? And I understand, like, you're not supposed to think about this because I'm literally manifesting it by talking about it. But especially after watching the Justin Gaethje fight, I think that was a prime example of, you can't just go into things super confident, super overconfident, not even think about what could go wrong. Literally that meme, what if we fall, but dude, what if we fly? What if I win on Street Beef? And I do think I'm going to win. Let me just clear up any assumptions right now. I think I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win. Like, I'm going to go to Street Beefs to win, but I do prepare myself for the possibility that I could lose and I could get knocked out and everybody could see that. But I look at the good side. What if I win? And what it will do do for what I'm trying to do. I think that if I fight on Street Beefs, it's already brought a ton of attention to my page, and that's the number one goal as a content creator. And it feels weird in a sense because this is the most pressure I've put on myself in my entire life. It's not an exaggeration. There are hundreds of thousands of people paying attention to my fight. Like, why would I put this pressure on myself? Honestly, I'm still asking myself that, but I think that pressure and glory pay the same price. And what I mean by that is I think that pressure is there for a reason. Literally, pressure is a privilege. When you put pressure on yourself, it means you are trying to accomplish something. There's no pressure on you to just sit on your ass and do nothing all day. Something's only demanded of you when it requires something that isn't easily attainable. That's what makes it hard, pressure. And that's why I see it as something that's super risky. Things could go terribly wrong, but at the same time, things can go terribly right. And it's a pressure that I'm willing to take on. Fighting on Street Beefs, are you kidding me? Dude, sometimes I take myself out of my shoes and like, dude, I'd be thinking about what I'm doing. Bro, I'm literally about to go fight on Street Beefs. Like, what am I doing, bro? But it's cool, man. It's something, it's cool. It's definitely cool. Some crazy dad lore. Hey, and let the people in the comments talk and know that me, Harry, Phil, and Alan we're getting a dub that day. We are all coming out with a dub for guaranteed. Another thing I've noticed about social media is like a lot of times you create this bubble in your head that's not actually real. You know, you spawn in ideas that only exist to you. For example, me saying that hundreds of thousands of people are paying attention to my fight. Like, people don't actually care. They think it's entertaining, but maybe a couple thousand people really care, but nobody actually really cares. Like, whether I win or lose, they're gonna go about their day. I'm not even real to them. I'm just a person on the screen. So yeah, I am over exaggerating by a lot. But that's fine, man. It's fine with me. I've been yapping too long. Let me know if I should do some more of these. But hey, appreciate you guys listening. Like and sub. And Street Beefs, August 1st.